Please have a seat and find your staple-bound liturgy book underneath your cushion. We'll start at the top of page 2. Gata of atonement, all evil karma ever committed by me, since of old on account of my beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and thought, now I atone for it all evil karma ever committed by me, since of old on account of my beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and thought, now I atone for it all evil karma ever committed by me, since of old on account of my beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, mouth, and thought, now I atone for it all. Nikaya 3 refuges. Buddham saranam gacchami. Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. I take refuge in Buddha. I take refuge in Buddha. I take refuge in Dharma. refuge in Sangha. I take refuge in Sangha. The 5 remembrances. I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature of change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My deeds are my closest companions. I am the beneficiary of my deeds. My deeds are the ground on which I stand. I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature of change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My deeds are my closest companions. I am the beneficiary of my deeds. My deeds are the ground on which I stand. I am of the nature to grow old. There is no way to escape growing old. I am of the nature to have ill health. There is no way to escape having ill health. I am of the nature to die. There is no way to escape death. All that is dear to me and everyone I love are of the nature of change. There is no way to escape being separated from them. My deeds are my closest companions. I am the beneficiary of my deeds. My deeds are the ground on which I stand. Mahayana refuge. In my heart, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. May I liberate suffering beings and bring them to great joy. May the compassionate spirit of love grow within me, that I may actualize the great way. In my heart, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. May I liberate suffering beings and bring them to great joy. May the compassionate spirit of love grow within me, that I may actualize the great way. In my heart, I take refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. May I liberate suffering beings and bring them to great joy. May the compassionate spirit of love grow within me, that I may actualize the great way. Invocation of the lineage. I give thanks for the guidance of my teachers, for the lineage of teachers before them. I give thanks and offerings for their devoted practice of generosity, moral discipline, patience, joyful effort, concentration, wisdom, skillful means, unshakable vow, spiritual powers, and awakened awareness for my benefit. May their years of life be lengthened, and may their vows be completely realized. 7 practices of the Bodhisattva. I bow down in body, speech, and mind. I offer the best I have to give, both real and imagined, to fill the space between us. I regret and purify all transgressions. I rejoice in all virtues, and I request you to remain until total enlightenment. I request wise and compassionate guidance. I dedicate my merit for the sake of all beings. Generating love and compassion. May all sentient beings be free from clinging and hatred. Being close to some and distant from others, How wonderful it would be, may this be accomplished. I will free them from clinging and hatred. Bless me to accomplish this. May all sentient beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. How wonderful it would be, may this be accomplished. I will bring them happiness and the causes of happiness. Bless me to accomplish this. May all sentient beings have the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from clinging, hatred, jealousy, miserliness, doubt, pride, wrong view, ignorance, and dualistic thoughts. How wonderful it would be, may this be accomplished. I will bring them to this state. Bless me to accomplish this. The reading is on page 21 of your spiral-bound books. It's Universal Gateway of Kanzeon Bodhisattva. When living beings suffer hardships, you can read with me. Burdened by immeasurable woes, the power of Kanzeon's wondrous wisdom can relieve the suffering of the world. Fully endowed with miraculous powers, widely practicing wisdom and skillful means, in every land, in all directions, in no realm does Kanzeon not appear. In all the various dark earths of hell beings, hungry ghosts, and animals, the sufferings of birth, old age, sickness, and death are all gradually erased by Kanzeon, whose true regard, serene regard, far-reaching wise regard, whose regard with compassion and loving kindness is ever longed for, ever revered. Unblemished, serene radiance, benevolent sun, dispelling all gloom, Kanzeon can subdue the wind and fire of woes, clearly illuminating all the world. The precepts of compassion roar like thunder. The kind heart is wondrous as great clouds, pouring down a rain of sweet dew, quenching all flames of troubling passion. In each thought, with never a doubt, Kanzeon, the pure sage, in pain, agony, or death's distress, can provide a sure support, fully endowed with all virtues. Eyes of compassion behold all beings, assembling a boundless ocean of happiness. Thus, with reverence, we bow in prostration. Please stand for the Heart Sutra. Prajnaparamita Heart Sutra, Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, practicing deep Prajnaparamita, clearly saw that all 5 skandhas are empty, transforming all suffering and distress. Shariputra, form is no other than emptiness, emptiness no other than form. Form is exactly emptiness, emptiness exactly form. Sensation, perception, mental reaction, consciousness are also like this. Shariputra, all things are essentially empty, not born, not destroyed, not stained, not pure, without loss, without gain. Therefore, in emptiness, there is no form, no sensation, perception, mental reaction, consciousness, no eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, no color, sound, smell, taste, touch, object of thought, no seeing, and so on, to no thinking, no ignorance, and also no ending of ignorance, and so on, to no old age and death, and also no ending of old age and death, no suffering, cause of suffering, cessation, path, no wisdom, and no attainment, since there is nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva lives by Prajnaparamita, with no hindrance in the mind, no hindrance, and therefore no fear, far beyond delusive thinking. Right here is nirvana. All Buddhas of past, present, and future live by Prajnaparamita, attaining Anuttara Samyak Sambodhi. Therefore know that Prajnaparamita is the great sacred mantra, the great vivid mantra, the unsurpassed mantra, the supreme mantra, which completely removes all suffering. This is truth, not mere formality. Therefore set forth the Prajnaparamita mantra, set forth this mantra and proclaim Gate Gate Para, Gate Parsam, Gate Bodhisvaha, Gate Gate Para, Gate Parsam, Gate Bodhisvaha, Gate Gate Para, Gate Parsam, Gate Bodhisvaha. All living things are one seamless body and pass quickly from dark to dark. We remember you who cared for us and who are gone, you who are ill, you who are at war, who are hungry, and who are in pain. May you heal and have peace. We especially dedicate these merits to Paulette, Sarah Keir, Janet, Charlie, and all those whose names we hold in the silence of our hearts, as well as those whose names we now voice aloud. May we live in perfect peace with Buddha Dharma, and may we realize the Buddha way together. All Buddhas throughout space and time, wisdom beyond wisdom, Mahaprajna Paramita. Please prepare for Zazen. We'll now recite the Sangha Covenant at the top of page 8 on your stapled liturgy books. We, the Daishin Kobuchi Sangha, with respect for the worth and dignity of each person, with the wonder and the wisdom and compassion we seek to cultivate by practice, and with deep gratitude for the teachers of this lineage and our connection to one another, covenant to support each other by upholding the precepts of doing no harm, practicing good, and actualizing good for others. Oh, please prepare for the invitation.
What's happening? Let's try again. Word road malfunctional. Never a dull moment with this one.
Gatha on opening the sutra. The Dharma incomparably profound and infinitely subtle is rarely encountered even in millions of ages. Now we see it, hear it, receive and maintain it. May we completely realize the Tathagata's true meaning.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much for being here. Please sit comfortably and in a way that we can make eye contact and see each other. So this weekend, we practiced sesshin sesshin together. And as I always say, it's a singularly important feature of practicing and realizing the Buddha Dharma. I know in my own personal experience that reading about the Dharma and thinking about the Dharma and considering the Dharma was all, useful to a point. But really it comes down to how do we actually get some? How do we have Dharma actually show up in our life, in our day, for real? Not as a sentimental thing or as a hope, but practically, really. And I think that for some reason, therefore for me, there was a time when I felt like things had to be very, very utilitarian and very practical and very direct. Enough with the stories. I want something reliable. And there's a point to that. There is. Much of sesshin training is very utilitarian and very reliable. But it's not sufficient. Not really. Not everything fits into the small little bundle of what works for me. What can I make sense of? What can I use? We read today Universal Gateway of Kanzeon Bodhisattva, a snippet from the Lotus Sutra. And for those who may not know, the Lotus Sutra is kind of a big deal. It's a big feature in the Mahayana world. Dogen himself was very fond of the Lotus Sutra. And there are sects of practice, approaches to practice that rely on it exclusively. We read today, when living beings suffer hardships, burdened by immeasurable woes, the power of Kanzeon's wondrous wisdom can relieve the suffering of the world. Fully endowed with miraculous powers, widely practicing wisdom and skillful means, in every land, in all directions, there is no realm in which Kanzeon does not appear. Now, Kanzeon, if that's a blank spot in your vocabulary, it means the goddess of compassion, Kuan Yin. We have her sitting here. Often expressed as a feminine form that is an embodiment of compassion, although not always in a feminine form. Interestingly, it flips depending on culture and time. But in this case, very clearly feminine, and not incidentally. Now, to a much younger and earlier version of myself that was quite unsatisfied by stories of omniscient entities that could make everything good but never did, it didn't hold much truck with me. I needed something I could taste, something I could, connect with directly. But what's interesting about this, if you really listen, it's the power of Kanzeon's wondrous wisdom that relieves the suffering of the world. Very interesting. What is this wondrous wisdom? And for that matter, who is Kanzeon really? Is it really the case that she is up here behind me? I'm not so sure. It's as simple as that. Our reading goes on, in all the various dark births of hell beings and hungry ghosts and animals, the sufferings of birth, the suffering of old age, of sickness, of death, are all gradually erased by Kanzeon. how is this done? Do we not chant in the 5 remembrances that old age, suffering, and death is the deal? There is no get out of jail free card. And yet here it is. The sufferings are all erased. Which is it? It goes on to say, her true regard, serene regard, far-reaching wise regard. Regard, you could say, is like how you see things, how she sees things, how she perceives the world, or more importantly, how you perceive the world. Truly, serenely, the vast, far-reaching, wise perspective, whose regard with compassion and loving kindness, seeing with compassion, seeing with loving kindness, is ever longed for, ever renowned. This is a very different quality. This is not just, Athena out there somewhere else with qualities I wish to call upon. It can be nice. But this is about you. This is about me. And it's about her. Unblemished, serene radiance, benevolent sun beaming through all gloom. What does it mean to beam through all gloom? Now again, I'm, for whatever reason, holding up this contrast with an earlier version of myself where I needed everything to make sense and I needed everything to work. I didn't want fairy stories. This is no fairy tale. This is not something you need to believe either, by the way. Don't worry about that. What you need to do is realize it. Make it actual for yourself. Kanzeon can subdue the wind and the fire of all woe, clearly illuminating all the world. Clearly illuminating all the world. This really, in many ways, is what your practice is about. Clearly illuminating your world, the world. The precepts of compassion roar like thunder. The kind heart is wondrous as great clouds. Pouring Dharma rain of sweet dew, quenching all flames of troubling passion. In each thought with never a doubt, Kanzeon, the pure sage, in pain, agony, or even in death's distress, can provide a sure support. In Zen, we talk a lot about joriki, which is your ability to put your mind where you want it to be for as long as you want it to be there. And you must develop this. But there's also, as I often say, ta-riki, other power. An easy to relate to example of that is the Sangha. To be sure, none of us can do this alone. Not at all. There's no way I'm waking up at 4 a.m. by myself. That's just not going to happen. In fact, it never has. But fortunately, it's not about just me getting myself to wake up. It's the Sangha. And so it can happen. It's amazing. Look what we did. Look what we did. Right? It's amazing. I wouldn't do this just for me. I don't need a massive hall to sit in by myself. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm good. I mean, it's, whatever. Unfortunately, you can see a lot of folks with means doing exactly that. And when this one McMansion doesn't satisfy them, buy another one. That doesn't satisfy, try a yacht. That doesn't satisfy, buy a spaceship. See if that scratches the itch. All the while, the sufferings are not evaded. They're not. You might have pleasant surroundings, arguably. For me, there is no more pleasant surrounding than Sangha. Look around at the riches. Look around right now at the riches in this room. Priceless. Absolutely priceless. What are the odds of us finding each other and practicing together? In all the billions of worlds, of all the however many Homo sapiens have been or will be, in all the different situations and circumstances wherein access to Dharma is not there, but yet look around and appreciate it. Do not take it for granted. Do not take each other for granted, and do not take yourself for granted. Appreciate it. And a little further, enjoy it. Like that's homework. Enjoy your life. If you go through all these koans and all this pain in the ass of sesshin and all these rites and rituals and stuff, and you're not having a good time, I'm going to laugh at you. I'm going to have a good laugh on that one. Assembling a boundless ocean of happiness. This is the miraculous activity of Kanzeon. Assembling a boundless ocean of happiness. And by the way, it's in the midst of death and old age and grief and let down and all the things. It's not separate. If you can really contact your life, and further, if you can really contact your death, they're not different, by the way, they're the same thing. It all opens up. And then you see it's always been open. Only one closing this thing down has been me. What the hell? But sometimes we need a little help. So I recommend Kanzeon. She's really quite badass. She really is. Sometimes it becomes too much. Sometimes for my own personal feeling self, it's too overwhelming. How wondrous to be able to go to the altar and offer incense to her, to Tara, and to say, here, I am cooked. I can bear no more. But you, please, can you take this? And her answer will always be yes. All you have to do is actually ask. The asking is the answer. Now, if this seems like a stretch, Well, we talked in Session about green mountains walking. Dogen said about this, you may not notice that you study the green mountains using numerous worlds of phenomenon as your standard, but clearly examine green mountains walking as your own walking. Green mountains thoroughly practice walking, and eastern mountains thoroughly practice traveling on water. What? Mountains walking? Mountains traveling on water? I mean, I thought it was a stretch just to think that Jesus walked on water. You're telling me now that mountains walk on the water? What the hell? This is just too much. I mean, actually, you know, there are many people who've said that they've been able to walk on water in India. It's not that rare, honestly. People can levitate, and there are many, many accounts of such things. But mountains walking on water? Oh, there's no such tale anywhere. And yet here it is. Accordingly, these activities are a mountain's practice. Keeping its own form without changing body and mind, a mountain always practices in every place. What is it for the mountain to always be practicing mountain? What is it for mountains to walk? Why in the world does Dogen say, realize your own walking? What has that got to do with it? Don't slander by saying that a green mountain cannot walk and an eastern mountain cannot travel on water. When your understanding is shallow, you doubt the phrase, green mountains are always walking. When your learning is immature, you are shocked by the words flowing mountains. This is great, I love it. Without fully understanding even the simple words flowing water, you drowned in small views and narrow understanding. Water flows. Oh yeah, that makes sense. I got it. That's practical. Water seeks the lowest level. H2O, gravity, I get it. No, you do not. I mean, that's not wrong, but that's not going to do it. What is water flowing? Do you really understand it? Maybe not. If you can't see that you've no way to see mountains flowing. But you need to. We really need to. This is the wise regard of Kanzeon. Realizing mountains walking. Realizing mountains flowing. This is Kanzeon, the pure sage, in pain, agony, or death's distress, providing a sure support, fully endowed with all virtues, all qualities of Buddha, which you should know, and you should venerate and practice and revere. Those qualities are your own. Eyes of compassion behold all beings assembling a boundless ocean of happiness, even if it's filled by tears of grief.
Beings are numberless. I vow to free inexhaustible. I vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. The Buddha way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. Beings are numberless. I vow to free them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. The Buddha way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. Beings are numberless. I vow to free them. Delusions are inexhaustible. I vow to end them. Dharma gates are boundless. I vow to enter them. The Buddha way is unsurpassable. I vow to embody it. that concludes our service for today. Thank you, everybody, for coming. And do we have any announcements that anyone would like to make? Sure. Can you use this?
Is it working?
Oh, it's working.
Just one brief announcement. Next weekend is our grand opening. Tonight, all temple members will be receiving an email with updated instructions about attending the events and also with a call for volunteer help throughout the week and next weekend. If you've got a little bit of time to help make this grand occasion go, please see the email for details, and it'll tell you how to sign up as well. Thank you.
Anyone else with announcements?
There was a sale, so I got a whole bunch of Bodhi trees. So if anybody would like a little Bodhi tree, message me or let me know, because I got trees.
So we have food left over from session. There's some salad that's coleslaw based and some soup, and they need to go. We have little takeout containers in the kitchen, and you can see me or Shokai. Shokai always has the answers afterwards. Oh yeah, sorry, there was one. If you attended session, or if you attended session and you're listening from home, but you were here, make sure your bowls go home too. So thank you very much.
Are we going to eat some here?
No, I don't think so. So I got a from the back, so. Thank you.
Great. Any more announcements? Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and please restore the Zen jar.